Hello Kees, what's everybody up to? Vandaag episode 89 of the check-in. I'm eating some lasagna. Oh, zie je nou weer niet laten vallen. Some lasagna. So that's good already. We're gonna see how last week was, you know. What's up with the week in Bench's life? No idea what I'm saying, but that's the classic. That's the Bench guarantee. Flying straight into it. On the top of my dome. Week 13 already. Sheesh. Shish kebab. Week 14 over there. Alright. Smoking. It would be 1.89. We might smoke this up this night, so let's take 1.89 grams. Sport was about 2 hours, so that's also better than last week actually. I think it was overall definitely a better week. We're checking in right now, so that's no, it's not checking. Oh, we did smoke today already, so that's not one. Sleep only 2 out of 4. Meditation 3 out of 4. And going outside for a walk or a bike ride 3 out of 4 also. So pretty solid in comparison to last week, at least. Not sure. I think this might actually be green. Oh, this was green. 2.5, 1, 1, 2 out of 4. I think this might. It's really the border, you know. This was close orange, I remember that one. So we'll give this one close green, just for a little boost. You know, get that booster shot in to get myself pumped up. Hell yeah. Alright. Self-employment, crypto trading bot. It's just running, so we haven't done anything. BTB projects. I've been brainstorming a little bit, but nothing too fancy, I would say. So, might call this red. Before tomorrow begins, we're checking in right now. We did do a Jonko Friday again, so that's good. It hasn't been a new month yet, so that's still 1 out of 1. We didn't do any podcast with any of the family or friends, so that's pretty good. Might as well be green again, so at least we're getting some color back in the weeks. Networking, we're gonna do some Reddit. Didn't engage live with people on the streets and didn't watch fresh content, so this is gonna be orangey. Miscellaneous, call or hang out with friends and family. We did both, so that's good. Didn't listen to a book and didn't look online, so it's gonna be orangey. And this is gonna be red because I still haven't done too much for that. So I'm just gonna copy this one, whoop, and then reflection. Mental is getting better and feeling more motivated again. Hopefully this is the way up now. Last week was not the most productive, but did do some good things. Like around 2 hours and did a Jonko Friday stream again, which was basically only playing League of Legends. It was a pretty good week with also a little housewarming for Zoe's family. Overall, did a lot of good shit and the work is almost behind. Time to turn this page. Alright, so not sure if it's green. I would say this might be green actually again. It's kind of weird because there was not so much green in the week, but given the factors, given the just what I have to deal with this week, I think it was pretty solid week. I felt pretty good. So yeah, it's definitely improvement. Whew. Overall, I think we're still at orange because the mind is getting better, but not really being focused too much on achieving or productivity, and I think it's not always necessary, but it's been a long time since I really set myself to do some programming or whatever, so I think it's gonna be around the corner, you know, getting there pretty soon, I hope, but we'll see. Not gonna rush it. I think a little bit go with the flow mentality lately, so that's good. Alright, did I have to fill in some things or what? Nope, I think that's good. Let's do some Reddit then, of course. Some Reddito. Mamacita. If people want to join, I'll sit in the streaming channel, and people can always join to give opinions about random Redditors, you know, classic. Alright. Is er iemand al ingekomen of zijn die aan het trollen? Oh, whatever. Alright. What is your pro background? Process optimization. Being improving workflows, etc. How about you? Hi, I'm learning more about your Okay, that's good. So we have some contacts, people that already been in DAOs. Not sure if my idea is gonna start there, but I'm pretty sure eventually we'll get there. I think I just need a different starting area. If people see blockchain and crypto, they immediately turn off the rational brain. Reddit research. What is this? The one a community. Touching hearts, minds and souls through empowering worldly wisdom. Okay. Let's see. What's the last post? 4 days ago. Subreddit is probably. Okay, 2 months already. Nice. Product manager in a fintech. Awesome. I'm planning on this idea. A little bit more body. Sure, if my starting point should be to immediately initiate a video, I think I might start with mailing lists. Of what people okay, where were we? Building a sales is a difficult journey. Celebrate milestones makes it a little bit easier. Okay. What is this all about, me? What was this one? Unique. To showcase my work as data scientist, people could reach me if they want to hire me. I'm adding this in my resume in case a RH will look into it. Probably it won't, but in Germany it may be possible. So okay. That's fair. Not sure if it carries much weight, but that's fine. I think the first one was you can better use LinkedIn, but that's just me. Alright, let's see some classic Redditing. Mental health. I'm building a cold email sender for need feedback. China police deploy real life Robocop. Oké, wil ik wel zien. Broke girl wanting to be soft so bad. I'm tired of being a strong man. It's kind of weird to say. You're a strong woman, no? Why make it gender-based? Alright. That's the lasagna in the tummy. Oh, what was that? Advertise onduidelijk. Okay. Does anyone know someone with this lifestyle? Wasted time with fake people, tired and lonely. Everybody does that. Panic attack after sex. Kind of funny story, I guess. Touching a statue is not sexual assault. Okay. Nope. Husband makes a lot more. I don't like him subsidizing me, but I don't know. But I know to some extent I have to accept it. Any advice or where it's okay to draw some lines? What does it mean, subsidizing? I know what the word means, but what does it mean in a people context? Does anyone else find it kind of ironic to use an app to stop using other apps? Okay. Someone please convince me that growing up isn't bad. It is. How can I avoid giving out too much information when asked rather than answering automatically? But yeah. If you ever looked back and questioned why you expose yourself to certain situations, people have the ability to clearly do better. Young men are having a harder time dating because of older men, not because 80% of women only date. Huh? I'm sociable and friendly, but too anxious and awkward. How do I fix this? Health paranoia, on overpollution. Okay. Overpopulation. How is a Lagrange point calculated in 3 body problems considered unsolvable? Boya. Going on pills soon after childbirth linked to higher risk of postpartum depression. As soon as women were taking the pill, they were at nearly 1.5 times the risk of depression. Okay. Switching to analog and slow living. Okay, I feel like I've wasted years, but yeah. A treatise on ugly. I feel like life is just going by. I think I love my girlfriend, but I never really experiencing loving a partner before, and I'm afraid to say it to her in person. Okay. How to take back my wits, but yeah. Keep going, but yeah. Gut feeling or anxiety, but yeah. Beyond right and wrong, a call for understanding. Okay. Why does happiness feel so short? Can I get some feedback? Kid who found out life sucks. That's everybody, I guess. Biggest upgrade I've made lately, choosing not to react immediately. Okay. Friends want to hang out with me. Your life past the passed by stopped. Oh, this is what? I don't care about my future. Mention of suicidal thoughts. Stepping out of my comfort zone. Junk food addiction. Oké. Waarom heb ik al altijd geen muziek op? Alright, does anyone know someone with this lifestyle? Hi everyone, since I left high school I've had a vague dream of to become an independent researcher, innovator. When I was younger I thought I've made enough money I could pursue my dream of doing research I would be interested in doing. So maybe a good approach of pursuing my dream, but I still don't have much money 7 years after high school. However, I do hold a bachelor's degree in a field that is not highly lucrative. Now I'm thinking of pursuing a high-paying field where I can work less than 40 hours a week and pursue research as a hobby. Currently I'm working part-time labor job, and with my time off I'm hoping I can somehow move towards my dream of becoming an independent researcher. Problem is I don't even know what this really looks like. I've thought about going to graduate school and getting a PhD, but I think the opportunity cost is too high for me. Also, I can't really see myself in academia. If I was a tenured professor, then I would probably have the freedom that is analogous to being an independent researcher though. I'm writing this post in hopes that someone can point me towards a person or group of people that they know that lives a lifestyle of being a hobbyist researcher while working a part-time job. Anyone know like this? I don't even know where to look for people like this, so this is why I'm reaching out. Maybe there are people. Entrepreneurs. How do you write it? By the idea more deeply about it. Okay, this is entries invalid in find the path subreddit. I wasted time with fake people, so no more dating apps, no more social media apps except Reddit. I will put forth my energy to the goal of moving. My life was wasted in the past. Goal no longer to waste my time and energy on those who cannot and will never make an effort to be a real friend. Fake people who take someone else's name and face in life seem to waste their time. I guess they think they will live forever in the coattails of others. That to me is very sad, eh? Life lessons I have had plenty of. I've made 3 absolute friends off Reddit. They just want real conversations. They don't have fake lies. Anyone else starting over in later life. all starting over in later life thanks to COVID. Man's work on himself is a struggle between his false personality and his real individuality. So it's a woman. I shouldn't need to spell that. I don't know really what the question is here. Panic attack after sex. Last night, me, 25 male, and my partner, 25 female, had sex for the first time in our relationship. Didn't last long and ended up ending it all prematurely and having my first legit panic attack in years because I thought the condom broke and worried about her getting pregnant. Girlfriend is amazing and understanding all my mental health issues, is comforted and reassured me through the night. Still a very embarrassing, humiliating experience, and I feel like I failed, all because I allowed my anxiety to run rampant, because I'm scared of the idea of having to deal with a pregnancy. Has anyone else dealt with panic attacks after intercourse? What you would say? Any tips? You sound like a really sweet guy. Don't put off trying again. The longer you have your second time, the harder, and not in a good way it's going to be. Marriage is about talking and laughing. There are going to be arguments, but to talk through and make up, you will both laugh about this in years. You both sound great and she's on birth. Condoms are not 100% effective. It's very rare, but pregnancies still happen while using them. If she's on birth control as well, double the protection even if it snaps. Also no advice for... Sorry man. What to expect an advice for quitting weed. 17, smoked pretty much every day since my 15. Maybe took 3-4 small breaks. Told myself when I finished everything and I was done, I'm quitting, and a few hours ago I just finished my last gram. I already know the first few days are gonna be hell, but my plan is to try to keep myself distracted. I would recommend journaling. And okay, Tugnut6 in Petiol subreddit. Someone please convince me that growing up isn't bad. I've been worrying about this since February. I'm not happy. I feel like I won't make any beautiful memories because I won't get younger than I am now. On the other hand, I should enjoy my last years of being teenager, but anytime I try to enjoy it with music or anything else, I cry because it brings me so much painful nostalgia. Mom is tired of me crying about it every day. Technically, I still have my life ahead of me, but it feels like my teenage years are the time where I have the chance to be the most charming and happy. Sorry for the bad. I miss feeling I someone to fall back on while growing up is fun because part of the journey is realizing that you have all the free will to do whatever you want. That you can rely on yourself. The good surprise is your parents will be there for you to fall back on, but they'll be more proud of you than they are now. Seeing that you're able to manage your own finances, social Friday is just coping here or what? Growing up does suck sometimes. Generally, I feel more accomplished. Control of what happens to you. Tinskeren in the live subreddit. Overpopulation. I keep seeing the opinion that overpopulation is a concern. Should we lift the entire world up first world standards or show them how to prevent aging? Research indicates the opposite. There's a very good, well-researched book on many of the social subjects discussed in Futurology Commonwealth by Jeffrey Sachs. However, I will summarize. The prosperity of society is inversely related to birth rate. Societies with the highest education, strong social safety nets, and lowest non-age related mortality rates have the lowest birth rates. The single largest factor in birth is average education level for women. This can seem counterintuitive, but is evident by simply pulling up a birth rate chart and looking at which countries have the highest. Population replacement is 2.3. I won't go into why, as the book explains it thoroughly. However, a quick look at the list will allow you to conclude it's not race, culture, weather, etc., but development and stability that determine fertility and birth rate. So the actual immediate solution to our consumption, environmental and population problems is to develop the world while expanding renewables resources and moving away from destructive practices like overfishing and plastic use. We haven't solved aging yet, there's no guarantee of it in our life, so if we lived the entire world out of poverty, we would be population negative. The actual numbers tell us that leaving our fellow humans to suffer and die young dooms us all. It is nice when all the moral imperatives and science line up cleanly. That doesn't show the whole picture, that shows everyone who has had children which is still alive, not the current fertility rate, for example, per year. And if care fertility results have reduced, then it's expected to follow the same trend as the rest of the world, just lagging. It lags. Honestly, I don't really know too much about this subject. Okay. What are we looking at? $6.6, Jesus. Holy shit, en hoe ziet het er bij ons uit? Holy shit. $1.6. As of January 1st, 2024, Belgium had a population of 11.76 million. 81st most populous country in the world. ...383 people per square kilometer. Okay. Does this mean surplus? Ah, the difference. Okay. So we have more young males than females. Okay. Interesting. Growth rate. How can we have, well, that's 2021. Yeah, of course we're dying more, so maybe with migration. Life expectancy 81 years. Fertility rate. shit. Okay, interesting. I'm not sure what I can offer this guy of information. Switching to analog and slowing life. Two connected things that have been helping me fix my mental and physical health. Slowing life, going analog whenever possible. Let me explain. So living is about living intentionally and trying to do less things and not trying to keep up with others and just choosing joy and peace over chasing hundreds of different goals I don't actually care about. Slow living actually helped me do more, paradoxically, because the pressure was off and the pressure of not keeping up with my peers just lifted. Started tuning into my intuition, moving my body more, eating foods that felt more nourishing, engaging in activities that actually helped me with stress management and not trying to do seated, silent meditation. Going analog with journaling and books reading has been part of the journey, and that has brought me so much joy. And there's something tactile and calming about writing in a physical journal with a pen. It actually even shifts and slows down how I think, so I end up questioning negative thoughts more. It's funny that trying to do less actually results in me doing so much more. Okay. Rational unicorn hunt. I guess I'll just give him a like. Okay, I feel like life is just going by. I feel like life is just going by, almost like everything has a path and it can change what happens. I almost feel like I'm not real because I'm just loving life without enjoying it. I almost feel like I'm not real because I'm just loving life without enjoying it. Happens to me when I stand still. So it gives me comfort. Whatever I do, life. This was Personal Spirit 7924 in Life subreddit. I think I love my girlfriend, but I never really experiencing a loving a partner before, and I'm afraid to say it to any person. I've been dating this girl, end of January. It's going really well. I don't think I've been ever happier with her. She's a bit shy, insecure, most creative person I've ever been with. Talented beyond belief. She has a difficult childhood. She's been doing incredible well. Not for me. I have very strong feelings for her. Those feelings leaning towards me, towards more love, but I've never really experienced loving someone other than my parents and my brother and a close friend of mine. But loving someone who I just met a few months ago is scary. Things are fast track things where feelings come strong and burn out quickly. Also, if it's unrequited, what does that mean? Unrequited. Dan onbeantwoord. Okay. Probably feel feelings. The 2 months is too soon. That's way too soon. Well, now if it takes you months and months to fall in love, I feel bad for your partners. I waited a year to tell my ex I love her. She agreed that I meant more. A mean bitch. You really are, it seems. Say to see it. Okay. Abdul Bino in the cell of subreddit. Oh shit. Wat is dat? $500,000 postkarma. Jesus Christ, man. The JMM. What's up, my man? Slow Monday, hell yeah. Just chilling, you know. Didn't do much work, obviously. But just chilling today. Just vibing, you know, vibing with life. Let's put some lights on. Oh, it's kind of vibe. We vibing away, yeah. You know. For sure. Beyond right and wrong. New ad on the stream. I don't get that one. The music. Ja, boeien. Ik ga gewoon Spotify ook afspelen, kan me niet schelen. Beyond right and wrong, a call for understanding. Time and time again, the world is divided by labels, by opinions, by the illusion that there's only one right way. People stand on opposite sides, defending their views, proving their points, drawing a line between us and them, but beyond these divisions, beyond the noise of conflict and the weight of judgment, there's something greater. There's a field, a place where ego fades, understanding takes its place, a space where conversations replace arguments, where connection matters more than competition. Is not a place of surrender, it's a place of truth, a place where humanity matters more than being right. It must recognize that every person carries a story, a struggle, a truth that deserves to be heard. It's not about abandoning values or compromising beliefs, it's about something deeper, the ability to listen, to respect, to see beyond the surface. It's about choosing unity over division, peace or pride, love over fear. The world doesn't need more walls, it needs more bridges. It doesn't need more winners and losers, it needs more understanding. And out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and righting, there's a field. kind of generic text, but whatever. Just wanted to actually start. Would you be interested in okay, that's good. The kid would find out ik heb die andere, ja, ik heb die niet geliked, boeien. For a year and the one For a year and the one before that, I never knew that I was a terrible person. I made fun of people, gaslit, bullied, lied, you name it. I always thought I was a victim because I had toxic friends, but in reality I was a toxic one and didn't notice until a couple months ago. I grew up in a not so friendly environment. That doesn't make excuse for all the things I did. Ever since I realized how much of a bad person I started to hate myself for it more and more. Somehow 7th grade became the worst part of my life and affected the future ahead of it. I cried more, became more irritable, more anxious. Thought more about throwing myself off a building or cutting myself until I passed out from blood loss and maybe even starving myself to death. I've never felt so low in my entire life despite all the stress. For some reason I didn't elementary school. I didn't like the person I was and still don't. I struggle all the time with these insane, intrusive thoughts which I shouldn't even know about. No matter the things I thought about, I never attempted these things because I was scared and still am. I'm a coward and I hurt people so much, but I couldn't realize it until it all hit me so hard I finally snapped out of it. Can't even feel like my feelings are valid since I can't help but think about much more other people are going through and other people I hurt. Whenever I think about those people, I feel like I'm being locked up in a cage with little to no oxygen. I get anxious and try to block out those thoughts, but worse ones keep on. I was a kid and still am, and I just want to get better and maybe feel better about myself. It's really hard. Okay, this was Xreal in the mental health subreddit. The biggest upgrade I've made lately, choosing not to react immediately. I used to think self-improvement was about adding more habits, more discipline, more action, but recently the thing that's actually made me feel like I'm growing is doing less, specifically not reacting right away. Someone sends a rude message, I wait. A task doesn't go as planned. The tiny space between stimulus and response has changed everything. It's not about becoming passive, it's becoming deliberate. I still mess up a lot, but when I get it right, I feel more in control, not just of what I do, but of who I am becoming. It feels like the kind of growth that actually sticks. Anyone else that's made a small shift like this that changed more than you expected? Sometimes I can do it and I'm so proud of me, and sometimes I feel it. I try not to feel guilty when it happens. Interesting perspective. Alright, this is Fun Solid 310 in the Deciding to Be Better subreddit. It's pretty active. Oh, how can somebody be this active? It has to be a bot, no? I don't know. Alright, stepping out of my comfort zone. I applied for an embalming apprenticeship a few months ago. My physical embalming apprenticeship license came in, so to celebrate, I ate a Hershey bar. Now that seems trivial, it's a candy bar. But for the last 3 or 4 years I've avoided a ton of foods. I avoid fish, shellfish, some fruits, some veggies and even chocolate. I have severe untreated OCD, anxiety. When people think OCD, they think cleaning vigorously. However, it comes in many forms. Mine presents in my food aversion out of fear of something sending me into an anaphylactic shock. It doesn't help me that I'm naturally an itchy person, so if I eat something and start itching, my brain goes to its allergic reaction hospital now. The last few days I've stepped out of the bubble I locked myself into and began eating all my favorite foods again. It's huge for me. Pairing my OCD with panic disorders can bring on panic. Not letting it control. This is my life, I'm living it. Honestly, honestly, I don't really care, I'm sorry. Junk food addiction. This might seem to be weird, but I've got an addiction of eating outside food. Every time I'm hungry, the first foods that come to my mind are all junk. I really don't know what to do. Also, some foods that I loved previously seem to be tasteless now. This is just ruining my health and draining my money. I need help. Someone 1331 in addiction subreddit. Why do I have to be so ugly? I don't want to live anymore. God hated me when he created me. I was born a loser. I'm ugly, autistic, and no girl has ever looked my way. I'm 26 and I'm a pathetic piece of trash who's going to be lonely forever. I'll never get to experience love. I watch all these couples. While I rot in loneliness, I should just die. I think this is indeed find immediate crisis. Find the helpline. Okay. China police deploy real-life Robocop as humanoid tech takes huge leap forward. Is er een videootje? No video. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna read old school news. Chinese law enforcement introduces a robot colleague and a mechanized K9 in the Chinese F1 Grand Prix. The robots humanoid G1 and dog-like G02, created by Chinese robotics company Uni3, were spotted overseeing the event at the Shanghai International Circuit. The Uni3 G1 wowed audiences last week by becoming the world's first robot to execute a keep-up, a dynamic move where it goes from flying flat to standing, showing off not just its trick but also Tai Chi moves and remarkable equilibrium, even when pushed from behind. Remember that movie about the depravity of late-stage capitalism and the commodification of human life? Let's do that. Okay. Alright. I think we're yeah, it's good for today, you know? Any gaming tonight? Oh, sorry, Mavi. Didn't see your yeah, I think I'm just gonna play some League of Legends, but not too You unlock the flag planter achievement in the live community. Thanks for the reply. Maybe I could be an innovator of some sort, and I think it could be interesting to develop products in my free time. I have some experience coding, so maybe that's just something to utilize. I can't really see myself as an entrepreneur though. I think you're right about the credibility issue. I don't think I need my work to be taken as seriously as professional research though. My dream is closer to being a citizen, a scientist where I can make small discoveries for fun and then maybe share them with a group of people. I'm mostly interested in the brain and behavior. Okay, that's pretty nice, this guy. Fun, solid. Who was this guy again? No fluff, wisdom. Ah, it's the bot. No, okay. No, thank you. Alright, that was it for today, mate. Oh, my. Think we're gonna get this idea going pretty soon, eh? So, hopefully next week I got some exciting news. I hope so. And otherwise, it will be probably the week after that. Anyway. Peace, my brother.